It smells like some punishment is being served out to Sophie Cunningham for going rogue, for passing that ball to Caitlin Clark, and for celebrating going rogue with Caitlin Clark. Boy, oh boy. The Indiana Fever, the gift that keeps on giving. It used to be the WNBA, the gift that keeps on giving. Now it's just...
It is the smell of a franchise engulfed in its own flames. That is the aroma wafting out of the Indiana Fever facility, and it is impossible to ignore. The entire league is watching as a simple act of basketball genius. A pass from Sophie Cunningham to Caitlin Clark has seemingly triggered a full-blown organizational crisis. We are witnessing the fallout of a decision so petty, so transparent, that it threatens to undo any semblance of progress the Fever have made. The central conflict is no longer about X's and O's. It is about control, ego, and the desperate attempts to clip the wings of the WNBA's brightest star. Stephanie White and the Fever front office have created a pressure cooker, and Sophie Cunningham is the first one to feel the heat, all because she dared to play the game the right way. What we are seeing is a punishment being served out to Sophie Cunningham for the unforgivable crime of passing the ball to Caitlin Clark and celebrating her success. The Indiana Fever, an organization once seen as the league's future, is now being viewed as a flat-out joke, a clown show that prioritizes petty internal politics over winning basketball. When the Fever's social media handle released a status report listing Sophie as questionable with a right elbow injury, the basketball world collectively rolled its eyes. Where did this phantom injury come from? Did it just manifest after she posted a graphic on her Instagram celebrating the moment? This isn't a medical report. It's a corporate memo disguised as an injury update. It is the most transparent act of organizational discipline the league has ever seen, and it signals a deep, cancerous rift forming within the team's very core.
Says Sophie hurt her elbow writing this for Stephanie White, didn't she? This is what Sophie Cunningham has. I will not pass to Caitlin again. I will not pass to Caitlin Clark again. This is what they forced Sophie Cunningham to do. Okay, that's how she hurt her elbow. CDS Sports, go rogue, win game, end up on injury report. Beatings will continue until morale improves. This is ridiculous, guys. This is ridiculous. Everybody knows this is clearly punishment.
This is the defining image of the Fever's current predicament. Sophie Cunningham, forced to write that she will not pass to Caitlin again, is a symbol of the franchise's misguided priorities. The long-term strategic consequence is devastating. By publicly disciplining Sophie, the Fever are sending a chilling message to the entire roster. If you stand next to Caitlin Clark, we're coming after you next. This isn't just about one player, it's an attempted assassination of the team's chemistry. Players will now be second-guessing their instincts. Should they give the ball to the generational talent, the one who can score from anywhere and create for others? Or should they adhere to a political hierarchy that places individual ego above winning? This punitive move is a strategic blunder of epic proportions, one that will not only cost them games, but will also make them a pariah in a league that is trying to ascend. To understand this decision, we must dive into the psychology of the decision makers and the hurdles they are placing in front of their own franchise player. This feels like a throwback to an earlier, more toxic era of the WNBA, where veteran cliques and organizational favoritism often overshadowed pure talent. Stephanie White, by going on a radio show that essentially aired a hit piece on Caitlin Clark just a week prior, has aligned herself with a faction that seems threatened by the Clark phenomenon. This is a coach who complained about the games becoming boring as hell, blaming the new wave of fans for ruining the product, when in reality the product is more exciting than ever because of Caitlin Clark. This is psychological warfare.
And aired a hit piece. This is crazy. All of this is just flat out craziness. This Indiana Fever organization is a flat out joke. Sophie Cunningham is being punished for going rogue with Caitlin Clark, passing her the ball. You know they wanted that ball to go to Kelsey Mitchell. They didn't give a damn. That ball go to Kelsey Mitchell or come hell or high water. And that is what it is. She look at the go back to the post game in the locker room. It looked like a damn funeral home in there. Caitlin Clark and Sophie went rogue. They didn't want to celebrate it at all. It was ridiculous. Isn't it obvious? Isn't it obvious that Dan Dockich is not lying about the information?
The joy of a game-winning play is an anomaly in this locker room. When Sophie and Caitlin went rogue, they didn't just break a play, they broke the facade of team unity. The Fever organization is refusing to address the smear campaign being led by figures like Dan Dage, who have been adamant that his information is coming from the inside. Instead of defending their superstar, they are publicly silent, hoping the noise will go away. This silence is a declaration of war against their own player. They are making an example out of Sophie Cunningham to prove a point, that no one, not even Caitlin Clark, will be allowed to operate outside of their rigid failing structure. The coaching decisions, the tactical gameplay changes, the active discouragement of the most lethal offensive weapon in the league. It all points to a front office that is more concerned with being right than with winning championships. The financial and franchise-altering impact of this decision cannot be overstated. This is not just a team chemistry issue. It is a cancer that will metastasize and destroy any chance the Fever have of contending. By punishing a player for executing a game-winning play, the Indiana Fever are telling prospective free agents that their talents and instincts are not valued. They are saying that the hierarchy is more important than the win. The gift that keeps on giving has now become a cautionary tale for the entire league. The Fever have taken their eyes off the prize, focusing instead on a petty grudge that threatens to turn their locker room into a house divided.
Time shot. It was a hell of a pass by Sophie, and for us, it was a much needed win on the road.
A big time shot by Caitlin, a great pass by Sophie. It was such a great pass by Sophie. Her ass is being punished now. That's what happened when you go rogue versus the Indiana Fever. Lexi, be on the lookout. We already see your minutes already took a hit. Your minutes already took a hit. The Indiana Fever let it be known.
The climax of this story isn't just Sophie's injury report. It's the league-wide realization that the Fever are actively sabotaging their own future. A hell of a pass by Sophie, a big-time shot by Caitlin, and the result is a suspension. The Fever have made it explicitly clear. If you stand next to Caitlin Clark, we're coming after you next. This is the ultimate high-stakes gamble. They are betting that their old-school mentality will win out over the modern, fast-paced game that Caitlin Clark represents. They are wrong. The Fever are not just punishing Sophie Cunningham, they are punishing their fan base, their investors, and any chance they have at long-term success. The message is out and it is damning. The Indiana Fever have a choice to make. They can continue down this path of organizational dysfunction, alienating their star player and stifling their team's potential. Or they can end the madness, welcome the evolution of the game, and build a system that supports its most talented players. The final verdict is in. This is a mafia-like approach to team management. Beatings will continue until morale improves mentality that is entirely out of touch. So we leave the question to you. If you were Caitlin Clark, how could you possibly trust an organization that suspends a teammate for passing you the ball? And knowing this toxicity, should Caitlin Clark demand a trade before her prime is wasted, or is this drama just the price of greatness?